That wide-eyed smile that belongs to the king of waltz is something we all know. When Andre Rieu leads his Jan Strauss orchestra in front of thousands of people, he looks like the happiest person in the world. He seems like a man who has everything. There was a castle, gold, and millions of fans yelling his name. What if I told you that smile is just a cover? Could you believe that Andre Rieu has been keeping a dark secret from you for 30 years? This secret almost destroyed him. He had so much debt that it would make your head spin while he made you dance. He played happy music while dealing with a traumatic event from his childhood that would not go away. Things got even scarier not long ago. He passed out in Mexico. People began to say that he was leaving for good. The web said he was no longer there. The truth is even more shocking though. Today we're going to take back the curtain on Andre Rieu's double life. We're going to talk about the hidden bankruptcy, the hidden wife who runs the show, and the scary illness that could end the violinist's career for good. This is what Andre Rieu didn't want you to know. For us to understand the double life, we need to remember a time when it should have been his proudest moment, but instead became his worst nightmare. The year was 2008. Andre Rieu felt great. He had more tickets sold than Beyoncé. He was bigger than Springsteen, but he was scared on the inside. He wanted everyone to experience the magic of Vienna. He wanted to do more than just play music. He planned to make a world. He chose to make a copy of the Schönbrunn Palace that was the same size. It wasn't a cardboard background. This huge structure was made of steel and gold. It was the biggest stage ever made for a tour, as well as ballrooms. It had ice skating rinks. The fountains really did have water in them. It even had carriages made of gold. It was meant to be the most romantic thing ever, but it turned out to be a graveyard for money. The problems began right away. The first castle they built wasn't safe enough for fires. Think about that. The builders spend a lot of money on a palace, but the inspectors don't like it. He had to throw it away. He didn't stop though. He made one more. Now he knew something terrible. They couldn't get the castle down and back up in time for the tour dates because it was so big. They couldn't move the castle to the next city by Thursday if they played in one city on Tuesday. A lot of people would give up. Andre Rieu did something crazy. He ordered a third castle. He now had 3 huge palaces that were being moved around the world by trucks and ships. The price was through the roof. Each and every day he lost money. It was later found out that he owed 34 million euros. That's more than $40 million. Every night he stood on stage and smiled at the crowd. Plötzlich, Tischinias prowled at the crowd. The Blue Danube Waltz was in the air. He was joking, but he was really doing numbers in his head. His mind was on how to pay his players next week. He was living a lie the whole time. The man on stage was a king worth $1 billion. The man outside the stage was poor. It all came down to one meeting with the bank. He went to Rabobank. He sat down next to the boss. He didn't have any more cash. His home was used as collateral. People used his shop. It was a risk for his violin. The bank could have shut down right then. Everything was theirs to take. The clothes and tools could have been taken away. That afternoon, there would have been no more Johann Strauss Group. The bank boss did look at the numbers though. He saw how much he owed. He looked at Andre. He kept him alive by telling him something. He told Rieu, "Mr. Rieu, you owe a lot of money, but you are the only one who can pay it back. If we shut you down, we lose everything. If we let you play, we might get our money back." Rieu left the bank with his business still going, but now he worked for the bank. Every ticket that was sold for years helped fill that hole. He did what he did like he was crazy, because he had to. Few people in the crowd knew he was dancing on the edge of a cliff. Where does this drive come from? What makes a man risk everything for a dream? We need to look at the other side of his double life to find the answer. The side that goes back to the 1950s in Maastricht, when it was a cold house. Andre Rieu is known for being friendly. He gives his fans hugs. He cries in public. He loves everyone. He says that because he knows what it's like to not be loved. The house where he grew up was loud with music, but cold with love. His dad was also a director. He led the Mass Symphony Orchestra as its director. He was a deep, serious person. These days, Andre has been very open about this. He said his mom and dad were very strict. He said they didn't love him very much. Imagine hearing that from a man who makes a lot of people happy. He thought of himself as the bad guy in the family. He was the third of 6 kids. He felt not seen. He was amazed at how the bows moved up and down together as he watched his father lead the orchestra. But he didn't feel like he knew the father who was holding the baton. At age 5, he began playing the violin. It wasn't just the music though. It was about how to find love. A young blonde woman was his first teacher. She was 18 years old. He loved her very much. It made him happy. He liked how she looked at him when he did well. He learned something that would change his whole life. Everyone will love me if I play well. This is what makes his double life work. He is still the little boy who felt like his parents didn't care about him. He fills that hole in his heart every time he goes on stage and hears the cheers. People need him just as much as he needs them. He's not just show off. As a kid he didn't get enough love. Now he wants it. He didn't like the way his father's world felt. It was a hot place to be near classical music. It was stuck up. You had to stay still. You were not able to smile. It made Andre angry. He thought about how to make people glad. He began to play waltzes in care homes. He saw the old people come to life. He saw them dancing while they were in power chairs. That's when he decided what he would do. He was going to fight against his dad. He was going to protest against the high-class music world. He was going to be the dance king. To be fair, Andre Rieu is not doing this by himself. He also has a secret person who helps him be successful. You are wrong to think that Andre runs the business. His wife, Marjorie, is really in charge of the throne. They've been married for 50 years, but you don't see her very often. She doesn't walk the red carpet. It's not possible to talk to her. She doesn't want to be shot. She has 2 separate lives. People think of her as a ghost. She is the boss of the company. The stories are written by Marjorie. What does she think about the show? She tells him what works and what doesn't. She is both his biggest judge and his biggest fan according to Andre. Marjorie told him not to give up when he was young and having a hard time. She told him to look at the sun so that his shadow would go behind him. They made a deal. He is the center of attention. She stays out of sight. They can live a somewhat normal life because of it. But don't get it wrong. The Andre Rieu empire is only run by 2 people. Now there are 3 people working on it. The business is now run by his son Pierre. Pierre is the head of the company. He is in charge of planning. He is in charge of the cars, the lights, and the hundreds of workers. Pierre believes in the truth. Andre likes to dream. Andre wants to buy a house for a lot of money. Pierre needs to find the money to pay for it. A father and son had a very moving moment not long ago. The way Pierre looked changed a lot. He dropped a lot of weight. He got better. He broke down in tears when he saw him. It made the bond even stronger. They work well together. They look out for each other and the business from other people. Time can't be stopped. No matter how safe you are. Andre Rieu is 75 years old, and his body has been sending him signs lately that something is wrong. There are signs that he can't ignore. Something scary happened in March 2024. They were on tour in Mexico City. The fans were ready. Nobody could get a ticket. But Mexico City is a long way off. It's over 2,000 meters above sea level. The air is not very thick. Even young people find it hard to breathe. It is risky for a man in his 70s to jump around on stage. A lot of stress was put on Andre. After 2 shows, his body stopped working. He got a bad flu. He had a fever, but that wasn't all. He fell down. He couldn't go on the rest of the trip. There were 4 sold-out shows just now. He looked small behind the scenes. He looked weak. He told the news people that this time it was really hard. He said that he is 1 day older. He even said it might be his last tour in Mexico. A man who wants to live to be 140 years old said that, which is a big deal. It was the armor's first crack. After all, the unbeatable dance king was a person. He flew home to get better, but the trouble wasn't over yet. He had a new trouble later that same year. This one scared an artist even more. The vestibular nerve was infected with a virus. It's this nerve in your inner ear that keeps you balanced. The world spins when it gets sick. You feel dizzy. You'll fall over if you try to stand up. Think about being a conductor. 3 hours of standing. The violins need to be played. You need to face the crowd. You need to dance and spin. If the room is spinning, you can't do that. Due to the sickness, he had to cancel a lot of tours. He had to back out of plans in Ireland and the UK. he had to change Australia shows. In a message, he said that he was very sad. He hates having to stop. He knows that lots of people come from far away to see him. He knows that restaurants and hotels rely on him, but he had no choice. He was unable to leave his home. He wasn't able to play. He couldn't go anywhere. This is terrible for a man who has lived his whole life on the road. It makes him think of the bad times during the lockdowns, when he almost lost everything again. After that, birds started to circle him because he was quiet and canceled shows, which made people on the internet think he was dead. All of a sudden, YouTube and Facebook were full of movies with bad titles. It was said that Andre Rieu was leaving. They said it was a sad diagnosis. They said his family is crying over how rich he is. Voices from robots and fake pictures were used in these videos. They were not true. He told nothing but lies to scare his fans. I feel terrible for the older fans who saw these vids and thought their hero was gone. Andre Rieu is really still alive. He is in a fight to show everyone that he is still alive. He recently went on TV in Brazil. He had lost weight, but he was still smiling. He really wants to go back on stage. He still doesn't want to give up the violin. The rumors, on the other hand, show how weak his position is. When there is one delay, everyone thinks the worst. Where does he hide when it's too loud outside? He goes to his safe place. He really does live in a castle. The name for it is Dorentius. It is in Maastricht where he grew up. This castle looks like something out of a fairy tale. It has a moat and towers. And its past fits with the drama in his life. The real D'Artagnan from the Three Musketeers is said to have eaten his last breakfast in that kitchen before dying in battle. He really likes that story. He loves the way it makes him feel. He bought the castle broken up and put it back together. He came up with the kitchen himself. He likes to cook there. In times of stress, cheese fondue is his best food. A simple pleasure for a complex man. In the yard, he also has a greenhouse. He comes here to get away from the noise. He gets butterflies. He grows strange plants. That place is quiet. There are no cheers. It's not the bank boss who wants money. Nature is all that there is. This is very important for his mental health. He is always on the go, so he needs complete silence to recover. He sticks to a strict schedule to stay on track. He always takes a nap before a shows. It doesn't matter where he is. He goes to sleep. It's his turn back button. He feels like a new king when he wakes up. He also takes his own cooks on tour with him. He can't let bad food make him sick. He is in charge of every part of his life, because he knows that one mistake could mean the end of everything. The violin is also important. It's not just a piece of music, it's his buddy. It was made in 1732, and is a Stradivarius. It's worth a lot of money. It's one of the most important tools in the world. He ran out of money quickly during the pandemic. When he couldn't go on tour, he pays 120 people to work for him. They get paid even if they don't play. He talks about them as his family. The money was running out, but he wouldn't fire them. He had to make a terrible choice. He told the press that he was thinking about the Stradivarius for sale. Could you picture that? You have to give up the thing you love most to save the people you care about. He told her that he could get another fiddle, but never get his orchestra back. He didn't have to sell it because the government stepped in to help. But it shows how near the edge he was. He was ready to give up the thing he loved the most. That's living two lives at once. The man with the $1,000,000 violin who is stressed about having to pay his power bill, it's not just him who is under fire. It's about his whole city. Andre Rieu is a business who works alone. He puts on shows in the Maastricht Square every summer. Places to stay and eat are full. And cab drivers make enough money in 2 weeks to pay for a whole year. The re-economy is what they call it. The city will lose a lot of money if he stops. It must be hard to carry that weight around. He is in charge of his town, his family, and his music. He really does push himself to the limit. That's why. His son Mark was the only one who didn't join in the chaos. Mark paints. He draws scenes of nature. He stays away from the cameras. His father tries to make unity on stage, while he paints pictures of it. It strikes the right note. The business is run by one son. The father tries to keep everything going while his son makes art. His fame has another bad side to it. Swindlers, scammers target older people who are fans of him because they are more likely to be rich. Online there are people who say they are Andre Rieu. They act like he is their son. They need money. They tell sad stories. This makes Andre mad. He has to keep telling his fans to be careful. They need to know that he will never ask them for money. He is mad that people steal with his face on them. Behind the scenes, he has to keep that smile on his face and fight another war. What will happen next? Andre Rieu has changed the dates of his trips. He says he is getting better. He wants to visit the UK and Australia again. He is making plans for his next Christmas shows. He's not going to stop, but there are signs that he should. Because of the fall in Mexico, the vertigo, and getting older, it's getting harder to keep up the double life. The face is moving around a bit. We can now see the fight. It's clear how hard it is to be the king of waltzes. He says he'll play until he gets tired. He says that music makes him feel young. It might too. He doesn't look 75 when he's on stage. He doesn't look old. He looks like the little boy who liked the blonde teacher and just wanted someone to cheer for him. There's more to Andre Rieu than music. He made it through. He got through a childhood without love. He made it through bankruptcy, which should have been the end of him. His body is telling him to slow down, but he is still going. To protect his dream, he lived 2 lives. He turned our pain into happiness. He used the debt to make a show out of it. He danced with fear. Pay close attention to that smile the next time you see him on TV or YouTube. That smile is real, but it was won the hard way. The music is even more beautiful because of the smile that hides 30 years of fighting.